Hi everyone, I'm Katrina, and in this video I want to show you how to add a sign-up form to your website. So when you're just getting your website up and running, it's always a good idea to make sure that you have a call to action on the homepage of your website. And one of the best calls to action that you can have is an email sign-up form. Mainly, the reason for this is that with email, you can stay in touch with anyone who's already let you know that they're interested in your products and services, and you can develop a more long-term relationship with them over time via email. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a really professional looking email lead generation form. So here we are on my website. This is my hypothetical yoga business website. And when I scroll down to the bottom in the footer, you'll notice that I have my sign up form right here. So it says get updates. If you like this content, sign up for free updates. And anyone who's interested can sign up with their name and email, and they can click on the button to get updates. So the great thing about this particular plugin is that you can add it not only to your footer right here, but you can also add it to the sidebar of your website as well as to the blog post itself. So for example, when I go up to my blog post here by clicking on blog, and here we see we're on my blog index page with all of my different blog posts, but when I click on this one, now I arrive on the actual blog post itself, the single blog post. So when I scroll down, you'll notice that just under the blog post, I have another call to action here, once again with the sign up form that says, like this content, sign up for free updates. And it's a really nice form. It matches the website design, the colors. You see that the color here, blue of the button, is the same color as the other buttons on my website. So the great thing with this particular plugin is that you can not only match the website design, the look and feel of your own site, but it also gives you some pre-made templates that are really professional looking in a variety of colors that you can choose from. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to set up the Magic Action Box plugins to give you a really powerful lead generation tool on your website. So here we are on WordPress.org, and you can see on the plugin directory page, I just clicked on plugins, and here I am on the Magic Action Box page, so you can read more about it here. And as it notes, it says no more using the designed forms from your email newsletter service. With this particular plugin, you no longer need to spend hours redesigning new opt-in forms. So it's a quick way to add a useful, powerful, easy lead generation tool to your site. So in addition to using Magic Action Box, we're also going to be creating an account on MailChimp. With MailChimp, you can create a free account to get started. I think up to about 2,000 subscribers, you can have a free account on MailChimp. And MailChimp will enable you to start collecting all of the email addresses that you are getting via this sign-up form. So I'll show you how to get your account started on MailChimp and how to set up the Magic Action Box. So now that we see what we're headed toward in this video, let's get started. So the first thing that we want to do to set up this sign-up form is you want to go to the dashboard of your WordPress website, and then on the left-hand side where it says plugins, you want to hover over plugins and click on plugins. Then at the top, here we are on our plugin screen with all of our plugins. We need to add a new plugin. So at the top here, I'm going to click on add new. And then you see here on the plugin screen, we're by default on the search page, but what we need to do is we need to do a search for the Magic Action Box. So I'm just going to type in Magic Action Box right here, and then I'm going to click on search plugins to search for the plugin. Here's the one that we want at the top. It's called Magic Action Box, and if you want to read more about this particular plugin, just go ahead and click on details, and here you'll see more details about the Magic Action Box. So just noting on the right hand side, we see this plugin was last updated 39 days ago, which is really good. It's a fresh new plugin version. We see that it requires WordPress version 3.1 or higher, and it's compatible up to 3.5.1, which is the WordPress version we're using right now at the time of this video. Also, we see it was downloaded 22,000 times, and it has pretty much a 5-star rating based on 9 ratings. So this is a really great plugin for lead generation, and you can read more about it here in the description. I'm just going to go ahead and click on Install Now to install this plugin. And once the plugin has been successfully installed, you want to go ahead and click on Activate Plugin. Okay, the plugin has been activated. The next step is you want to just scroll down, and now you'll see on the left-hand side, you'll see two different links here on the left-hand sidebar. You'll see an action box link and a magic action box settings link. So the first step is we want to click on magic action box settings. Here on the Magic Action Box settings screen, you'll see that there's a number of different tabs. The first one is General Settings, and I usually don't touch this. I just leave it as it is. But then the next one that we do need to check on is the Accounts. So I am going to click on Accounts right here. Here on the Magic Action Box settings screen, you'll note that Magic Action Box has built-in support for Aweber and MailChimp, and you just need to choose which one you're using and either add your authorization code if you're using Aweber or get your API key if you're using MailChimp. Also note, as it says here in the yellow section, the yellow message box here, it says you may still use other email marketing services as long as you're able to generate the HTML code for the form from your provider. So you can read more about that by following the instructions here and clicking on create an opt-in form type action box right here. So in this video though, we will be using MailChimp, the free email provider. So let's go head on over to MailChimp to set up a free account at MailChimp. So here we are on MailChimp.com, and to create a MailChimp account, you want to just go ahead and click on this link here that says sign up for free. So I'm going to go ahead and click on sign up for free. And here on the next page, the next step is we need to get started with a free account, sign up in 30 seconds, no credit card required. So all you need to do is add your email, a username, and a password. Once you have your email, username, and password filled out, go ahead and click on Create My Account to create your account. Okay, thanks for signing up. So the next step is we need to check our email to click the Activate Your Account link in the email sent by MailChimp. So I'm going to head on over to my mail right now. So here in my email, we see that I received an email from MailChimp Client Services. So you want to go ahead and click on the email within your email from MailChimp. And when you open that email, when you scroll down, you'll see there's a link right here that says Activate Your Account. So go ahead and click on Activate Your Account to activate your account. So to prevent spam, MailChimp is also requesting that we add in these numbers right here, these two words in this box here, to confirm that we are human. So go ahead and whatever two words you see in the box right here, add them to the field and then click on Confirm Sign Up to confirm your sign up. Okay, so once you've confirmed that you're human by filling in the CAPTCHA on the previous page, the next page you'll arrive at is this one where you can log into your new MailChimp account by adding your username and password. Then, once you add your username and password, go ahead and click on Login to log into your account. Okay, so the first page you may arrive at when you first log into your MailChimp account is this security info page. So if you'd like, go ahead and add your mobile phone number and then click on verify, or you can do this later by clicking on this link that says I'll do this later. So I am going to do this later, so I'll just click on that. And here we are on the first page, the dashboard of your MailChimp account. So as it notes, it says get started in 3 steps. 1, create a list, design a form, and send a campaign. For us right now, for the Magic Action Box, all we really need to do is take care of step 1, which is creating a list. So to create a list, you want to come up to the top and you can either click on the link here and click on lists, or you can just click on this one here, create a list. So I'm just going to click on this right here, number 1, and then you want to set up your new list. So when you click in each one of these fields, MailChimp is really helpful, and they give you a little tooltip here that says good example, and they'll give you an example of what a good list name is and a good default from name and so on and so forth. So the first thing we need is a list name, so I'll call this 77 Web Studio Weekly Web Tips. Then for the default from name, I'm just going to add 77 Web Studio right here. And as it notes again, when you click in this field here, it says this is who your emails will come from. Use something they'll instantly recognize, like your company name. So once again, MailChimp makes it really easy, and they guide you step by step, letting you know what you need to fill in each one of these fields. So moving on to the default reply to email, I'm just going to add in my email right there. And then the default subject will be Same thing, I guess, 77 Web Studio Web Tip of the Week. And then you want to remind people how they got on your list. So here at the bottom, once again, there's an example. And so I'm just going to pretty much copy this right here. Actually, I can't copy it, so I guess I'll have to type it. You are receiving this email because you opted in at our website. So once you remind people how they got on your list, the next step is you want to add in your company name and address and location. So I just added my company name here, and of course this is not my correct address, but you do want to make sure that you do add your correct address. It's actually one of the requirements for the email provider service is that you add your real address here. So go ahead and add your real address there, and then you can scroll down and you can indicate if you want to have any notifications sent to you when people subscribe. So if you want to be emailed when people subscribed, you can go ahead and click on these links, these little check boxes right here. And then if you want to give people different options of how the form is displayed, you can click on this right here. So I'm just going to leave those all blank, but I am just going to save the list by clicking on Save to save my new email list. Okay, so my list was created. Your list will by default store the email, the first name and last name, but you can add more fields if you like. Now we actually don't need this because we're going to be using the Magic Action Box form, which has the features built into it. But of course, if separately you want to come back here and add a new form, you can do so here with MailChimp. But once again, the great thing about the Magic Action Box is that you don't have to be bothered worrying about how to create the form within MailChimp. You can do it straight within the plugin. So just keep in mind that the name of your list is going to be listed right down here. Most likely if you just created it, like me, you'll have 0 subscribers at the moment. So this is my list that I created. It's called 77 Web Studio Weekly Web Tips. So once you have your MailChimp account created and your list created, the next step is we need to go back to the dashboard and we need to set this up within the Magic Action Box plugin. So let's head back to the website right now. So here I am back on the Magic Action Box settings screen, and down below you'll notice that now we need to add our API key from MailChimp. So since our MailChimp account has been set up, we now have an API key, and to get that you just want to click on this link here that says Get Your API Key. So right here in this box you want to copy your MailChimp API key, and also note that it's important to keep this key private. It says API keys provide full access to your MailChimp account, so keep them private. And if you click on this link, there's some tips on keeping your API keys safe. So I'm just going to copy my key right here, and then I'm going to go back to my Magic Action Box settings screen, and I'm going to paste in my key right here. Once you've pasted in your MailChimp API key, go ahead and click on Save Changes to save the changes. Once the Magic Action Box settings have been saved, the next step is we need to come down here on the left-hand side underneath Magic Action Box settings, and we want to click on this link here that says Styles and Buttons. So I'm going to click on this link here, Styles and Buttons. And here you'll see on this screen that we have a default style set up right here. But actually I want to create a new style, my own custom style. So I'm going to click on this button here, Create New Style. Okay, so the first step that we can do on our Add New Style screen is, if you'd like, you can give it a name, a new style name. I'm just going to leave it as my style. But what I do want to point out is that this is where you can customize all the different fonts and colors, the background, the borders, and the copy, the content copy right here of your actual form. So we see here we have the general design and layout right here. So we see that here are the different colors. Then you have the content copy, fonts and colors and hover colors. You have the main heading, fonts and colors, and subheading, form elements, aside, and then some. When I click on others, we have some custom CSS. So I'm going to leave the style as it is for the moment. We'll come back to this when we want to customize our form. So I want to show you what the default form looks like first, and then we'll come back and we'll customize our form. So I'm just going to click on Save Style to save the styles of my new style form. Okay, so the style was saved. Now what we want to do is we want to go to the action boxes here on the left-hand side, and we want to click on Action Boxes. Now on the Action Boxes screen, the first thing we need to do is we need to add a new box. So I'm going to click on Add New at the top. Then you see there's all these different types of action boxes we can choose from, but the one that we want is called opt-in form, and as it notes, an opt-in form is used to build your email list. So that's the one that we want. So I'm going to click on opt-in form right here. And here we are on the Edit Action Box screen, where the first thing we can do is we can give a name or title for our form. So I'll just call this Sign Up. It's the sign up form. And then here in the Action Box General Settings box here, you can choose the style of your box. So when I click on User Styles right here, you'll see I have a drop-down box. I have no style, I can choose that, or I can choose any of the pre-configured styles provided by the plugin. So for example, when I click on Default, it'll give you a thumbnail preview of what the box looks like. So you see it's this gray background and there's an image on the left and it looks really nice. It's a starter style for your action box. Then when I click on Default once again, you can see there are these other colors that you can choose from. So there's a dark color and you see there's a dark gray, it looks like color with a red button. There's a royalty color. If your website is blue or navy blue and this orange color, that might be a great form for you to choose. Also, if you have a pink colored website, then perhaps this color would look good, the pink action box style. And finally, you can choose no style at all. So the one that we want actually is the one we just created, my style, my own style. So I want to click on User Styles right at the top. And then on the right-hand side, I'll have a new drop-down box here, which currently says Default. But when I click on that, you'll see here it says My Style. So I want a custom form that matches the look and feel of my website. So I'm going to use my own user style, and that style is called My Style. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to scroll down to the opt-in form settings box here. And as it notes, Magic Action Box has integrated support for Aweber, MailChimp, and I'm not going to say this correctly, Wisija newsletter only as the moment, but you can still use other mailing list providers by selecting others below. But we're using MailChimp in this video, so I'm going to keep this selected at MailChimp. And then what we need to do is we need to select the list to subscribe people to. So you want to click on this button here that says Update List to update the list. And when you click on Update List, it should automatically populate the name of the list that we created in the previous step. So here we see, here's the list that I just created. The next step is we need to add some text for our Submit button. And by default, the default value for the button is Submit. But I'm going to add a more meaningful name than Submit, so I'll just call this Get Updates. So that will be the name of my button, and then you just want to scroll down. Here you can see you can specify labels shown below. I'm not going to touch any of this. I'm going to leave all of this as they are, as is. But I am going to scroll down here where it says main heading, main headline of your opt-in form, and I am going to add a headline right here. So I will add the headline, like this content, sign up for free updates. You can also add a subheading and a main opt-in heading right here, but I'm going to leave those blank and I'm just going to keep my form really simple and really focus simply on the Submit button or the Get Updates button and then the headline. But go ahead and feel free to add additional copy if you'd like down here, and you can add secondary opt-in copy as well. So I'm just going to leave it as is, like that, as we just added all the different settings right there, and then I'm going to come over to the right-hand side and I'm going to click on Save to save my action box. Once a new action box has been created, the next step is we need to actually add the box to our website. So to do that, you want to go to the left-hand side, hover over Appearance, and you want to click on Widgets. So here on the widget screen, the next step is we want to add the Magic Action Box to either our primary sidebar or our footer area. Now, most likely you are using a different theme than me, so you may be seeing a different name for your sidebar over here. I'm using the one-pager theme by Woo Themes, but whatever your sidebar is called, it might just be simply called right sidebar, or like in my case, it's called primary. And then you see down below I have my footer areas. You want to drag the Magic Action Box to these areas. So in this video, I want to add the Magic Action Box to the first footer here. So I'm going to click on this caret here to open it up a little bit. Then I'm going to scroll down, and among my available widgets here, I see here is the Magic Action Box widget, and I'm just going to grab it, drag it over to the footer area, and then I'll release it right there. And here we see here I have my Magic Action Box widget now showing up in the footer. So if you'd like, you can give your box a title. I'm going just to call it Get Updates. And then we can see here the action box to display is sign up. So that is the one I just created. So that's great. Then I'll just click on this button here, save, to save the settings of this box. Okay, so now we have the Magic Action Box set up on the footer area. Let's take a look at the website to see what it looks like. I'm going to go to the top, click on Visit Site, and here on the home page of my site, I'm going to scroll down to the footer area where I just added the Magic Action Box. So here we see, here's the Magic Action Box right here, and it's in the right spot, and it looks pretty good. The only catch is that it's not really matching the colors of my site. Number one, I want to change the button color, and I also want to change the gray color to white so it's more in line with the white around it right here. So to change the color of the button, I'm going to go back to the Magic Action Box by going up to the dashboard and clicking on Dashboard. Then once I'm on the dashboard, I'm going to go to the Magic Action Box settings by clicking on Magic Action Box settings right here on the left-hand sidebar. And then underneath the Magic Action Box settings, we want to click on Styles and Buttons. Once we're on the Styles page, the next step is we want to edit the My Style custom style that we created in the previous step. So here where it says My Style, I'm going to click on Edit. And here on the Edit Style page, I want to go to General. So here on the General Settings tab, you see these settings apply to the main containing box. So we had noticed that the main containing box, the background was a gray kind of off-white color, which is this color right here, F5, F5, F5. So in order to have a white color, we need to make this 6 Fs. So I'm just going to override the default F5 code, and I'm just going to put FF, 6 Fs. Also notice that when you place the cursor in this field, you get this really cool color palette. So you can just kind of spin the colors however you would like, whatever color you would like, and the colors here in the box will automatically change to be whatever color you're selecting in this color wheel. So I'm going to use white, which I know is 6 Fs, so I'm just going to put that in right here. Okay, so now I have the background of white with these 6 Fs right here. The other thing that I want to do is I want to change the color of the button that says Get Updates. So just to scroll down, I'm going to save these changes right here by clicking on Save Style. And once the general design and layout settings have been saved, the next settings that I want to change are the Submit buttons. So those are here on the Form Elements tab. So I'm going to click on Form Elements. And here on the Form Elements screen, when I scroll down, we'll see that here we have the Submit button colors, the background color as well as the background hover color. So I want this to be that blue color to match my website, so I'm just going to add that in here. I happen to know the code, but once again, when you click in this box here, you'll get this color palette, and you can just really just select whatever color you would like based on this color palette. So you can see here I'm just spinning it around and all the colors change. But since I know what the code is, I'm just going to put that in right here. I'm just going to paste that in, this blue color, and I'm going to add the same blue color to the background hover as well. So I'll just change this color. And let's see, I'll also add the same blue color to the border and the border hover color. Okay, so once all the colors have been changed on the Submit button, the next thing we need to do is save all of the styles by scrolling to the bottom and clicking on Save Style. Okay, so now let's take a look at the website and see what the form looks like in the footer area. So I'm going to go to the top and click on Visit Site, and here I am on the home page of my website, and when I scroll down to the very bottom in the footer, we see that it matches the colors of my website. Now, one thing to keep in mind here, we see that this button is not quite as wide or tall as the Shop Now button. I also want that to be consistent as well. So I'm going to do one more change on that style. I'm going to change the size of this particular button so it's looking more similar to this Shop Now button. So once again, I'm going to go back to my dashboard and I'm going to change the styles of that custom box. So here I am on my dashboard. The next step, once again, is I'm going to go to the Magic Action Box settings, and I'm going to click on Styles and Buttons right here. And as we did before, here's my style, my custom style, and I'm going to click on Edit. And then once again in the Form Elements tab here, because we're going to be changing the Submit button, I'm going to scroll down to where that section is. Right here is the Submit button section, and when I scroll down a little further, we see here is the padding of that button. So instead of 3 pixels, which is the default, I'm going to make each one of these 10 pixels. So 10 pixels for the top padding, bottom padding, right padding, and left padding. So I'll just add 10 in each of those 4 different areas. And once I have that all ready to go, I'm going to click on Save Style to save the style. And now I'm going to go back to the website by clicking on Visit Site right here at the top left-hand side. And scrolling down to the bottom once again, we see here is the button, and it looks a lot better. It looks a lot more consistent with the other button right next to it. So that's how you add a custom opt-in box and email form to the footer section of your homepage. You can also add the same form to the sidebar of your website by once again going up to the dashboard, and actually instead of the dashboard just go straight to widgets. So I'm going to click on that. And here on the right hand side you can see that we've added this Magic Action Box to the footer. If you'd also like to add it to the right hand or left hand sidebar of your blog or your website where you have the sidebar, you can just duplicate the same steps you've taken to add it here to the footer. You just want to do the same thing by dragging the box up to the primary area and then giving it a title and then clicking on Save to save the box in your sidebar as well. So the other place that we can add this opt-in box, this email form opt-in box, is at the beginning or the end of a blog post. So let's go ahead and do that now. To do that, you want to go to one of your blog posts. So I'm going to go to my home page here and click on Visit Site. And then I'm going to click on my blog at the top. And here we see I have my blog index page with each of my different blog posts I've created. So I'm going to click on this one right here, this blog post. So here I am on the individual blog post. We see when I scroll down, here's the image on my blog post and the content, but you see that there's no opt-in box right here. What I want to do now is I want to add an email opt-in form just below at the end of my blog post. That'll give a really good call to action after someone reads the post. Then if they're interested in this kind of content, they can sign up directly on the blog post for your email list. So to add the email opt-in box at the bottom of the post right here, you want to go and edit the post by clicking on Edit Post. And here on the Edit Post screen, you want to scroll down and you should see a box here that says Magic Action Box. So this is something you'll have to add with each of your different blog posts. So what I'm going to do here, it says select the action box. So I'm going to click on this disable right here, and then I'm going to click on the actual custom form that we created. So you see it says disable, use default, and sign up. I'm going to use the sign up one, so I'm going to click on sign up right there. And once you have selected the action box, the next step is you have to decide where you want the action box to be placed in relation to your content. So you can have the box placed after the content, which we see is listed right here, or if you'd like it placed before the content, you can click on this box right here. So I prefer having the content, the email opt-in box after the blog post. So I'm going to click on after content right here, and then I'm going to scroll up to the top and click on update to update my post. Once the post has been updated, you can view the post by clicking on view post. And here we see on my blog post, now when I scroll down, now we see that I have this really nice professional looking opt-in form right underneath my blog post. So that's how you add a professional looking sign-up form or email opt-in form to your website. So I hope this video was helpful. If so, feel free to leave a comment below or like the video. Also, keep in mind I'll be coming out with more videos. So if you'd like to be updated, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.